Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for the first ever week of the Lady Spartan Pro Series, powered by Game Gooder. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble. I'm going to be your host for today, and I got to say, I'm really excited to see what the ladies of Halo can bring to the table. Make no mistake about it, they are talented, and they're going to be showcasing all their abilities today. Of course, I can't do the job alone, nor would I want to do the job alone. We're going to have a great and talented crew this weekend, but first, we're going to be starting off with our two ladies, Jolly and Magic. I'm so excited to be here with the both of you. Jolly, first time working with you. How you feeling?
I am so excited. I mean, I have casted so many other games this week, but Halo is where it's at. I've been looking forward to this broadcast for a long time, and not only that, but Magic and I have worked together multiple times. We've never actually gotten to cast together, so I'm very excited for that as well.
And Magic, you said you woke up this morning, it was like Christmas all over again. Are you excited to be here too, I assume?
Oh man, the adrenaline was like coursing. Like I got the butterflies in the stomach, like the whole thing. I've just been really looking forward to today's event. I've seen a lot of these ladies compete before, but I want to see what they bring to the table for this fresh tournament. And now with the money and the points on the line, I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, it's week one, right? This is where you want to start off with a strong start, earn your money, but also earn those points so you can make it into finals. Speaking of which, let's talk about our tournament format. With this being week one, it's time to get into it. How does everything going to be working? Well, it's going to be a double elimination open bracket. The top 8 qualifies for day 2. So just so you all know, this is a 2-day event technically. Last Saturday, we had the first day of it, the first at least bracket play. And the top 8 teams ended up qualifying for day 2, which is today. So it's interesting. It really is the gauntlet. You might not play as well as you did last week as you're going to play today, so you better be bringing your A game for both days. It's a best of 5 series HCS rule set. The map pools are predetermined for each round. So basically, it goes objective, Slayer, objective, objective, and then back to Slayer. So Slayer being played twice. You got to be good at it. That's typically what's going to win you the series. Top 8 teams, like I said, in each qualifier are competing today, and the top 8 teams in each qualifier compete for $2,500 in prizing and points. Now, points is the big key takeaway. The money is nice, but the points will give you a chance to qualify for the LSPS Championship, which will feature the top 8 teams in points after our 4 qualifier tournaments. So this is week 1. After this week, we'll have 3 more weeks to gain your points, and the LSPS Championship will be May 21st to the 22nd. That's where the big bucks are going to be earned. But speaking of which, we talked about points, we talked about money. Let's at least give you visualization of what all that means. First place, $1,400. I love that. 4 weeks is where the qualifiers are going to be taking place, and obviously, with this being week 1, a chance to earn $1,400 for each and every week is truly incredible. It really is. But all top 4 gets paid, and all top 8 teams today will be getting some points so they can qualify for the LSPS Championship. But love it. 120 points for first is pretty incredible. So getting first, you get the money, you get the bulk of the points, you get a chance in the spotlight. But who's competing today? We've got a lot of talented ladies. We really do. And Jolly, we got to take a look. Which team stands out to you?
Man, it's really hard to pick one team in this. I gotta say, just for the teams that are I think are gonna perform really well and maybe kind of surprise some people here, I gotta give Good Vibes a nod, and Need 8's Bad as well has some amazing players on that roster.
And Magic, I mean, we talked about Need 8's Bad, talented. I'm looking at LCM. I think they're going to be representing Latin America quite well today. But for you personally, I know you've casted the first ever Kunoichi tournament for the ladies. Who stood out for you then? Who's going to stand out to you, at least you think, for today?
I mean, it's so hard to like pick, kind of like Jolly was saying. I agree with Need 8's Bad. They're going to be really strong. Hydra Gaming also, just a stacked lineup, but all 32 competitors are really strong. I'm interested in 69 Bandits. It's a new roster, putting that together to see if they can really gel. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to narrow it down because anybody can stand out. Falling Esports, watch out for Ideas, Command Station, very strong team there as well.
Good vibes too. You know, you got the mom, if you will, of really Halo female competitors. She does so much work. Veronica playing on Good Vibes with Songfully, Dreamy Dream, and Mimsy. That's going to be a great roster too. They're starting in a loser bracket. But speaking of the bracket, let's actually recap the bracket in itself and talk about some matches that ended up taking place. If you notice, winners Winners quarterfinals that was actually from last Saturday. Remember, this is a 2-day event technically. 69 Bandits, Grippy Sock Girls. I'm starting there, Jolly, and the reason why, 69 Bandits, they get the win, and at that time it was a best of 3. Obviously, today's going to be best of 5, but I believe they went into map number 3 against Grippy Sock Girls, and they were down a considerable amount on Stronghold. If I'm not mistaken, it was like 247 to like 160 something, and 69 Bandits remained composed, came back, and ended up winning that game number 3 to push them into winter semifinals to play against Hydra Gaming. So 69 Bandits, a roster we were looking for, Jolly, and it seems as if they've got composure.
Oh yeah, composure, and also, you know, where and when it matters, right? Because that was a very intense, I mean, just the top side of this bracket, right? The 2-3 full 3-game series where we didn't have sweeps were very intense. But 69 Bandits definitely looking like a really clean team, and this is one that I'm looking forward to seeing because I'm less familiar with the roster. So especially going into Hydra Gaming, I do think that it's going to be, you know, a tough. It's going to be an uphill climb just based on how stacked that roster is for Hydra and how much veterancy these gals have on the field here. But I think that the 69 Bandits is a very promising team.
All right, and Magic 69 Bandits, incredible team as they are, but we got Need 8's Bad, we got Mirage, Hydra, they all moved forward. In that winter semifinal matchup, or winter semifinals in general, you've got 4 great teams, 2 great matches. Which one stands out to you?
I mean, I have to shout out Need 8's Bad. It's an interesting thing because they might be public enemy number 1 in a way because they've knocked out a couple of teams into the lower bracket. Actually, 2 of the teams that are in today's tournaments were knocked into the lower bracket by Need 8's Bad and then had to work their way up through the losers bracket in order to be in this top 8. So keep your eye out for them. They might have some guns pointed in their direction, maybe a little bit of heat their way. But I think that story is really interesting. But you also see they come off of a 2-0 win over Falling Esports. They got some good momentum. Hydra Gaming, though, they had to win that 2-1 series against the girls from Mexico, LCM. And so I'm looking forward to watching what LCM can do. Maybe they can get a rematch even.
Well, it speaks volumes about LCM taking a map off of Hydra. You know, they're down in the losers bracket. Speaking of which, let's take a look at that because you mentioned Need 8's Bad Magic, you know, beat a lot of good teams. They're here for, you know, obviously they're there for a reason. Now we look at the losers brackets and talk to me a little bit about that. Any of these teams, you know, maybe didn't have or had the short end of the stick, if you will, playing against Need 8's Bad, or are there any that stand out to you?
I mean, I think from that end, I would look at Dead Inside because they went down 0-2 in the first round. So when you go out the first round, you're thinking, you know, maybe this team isn't it. Maybe we need to do something wrong. But then they went through the whole lower bracket, you know, winning. And that loss was to Need 8's, which is arguably one of, if not the best team here in today's tournament. So keep an eye on Dead Inside. Even though they are here in the lower bracket, they've been fighting their way through. And if they can continue that today, I want to see them get up to that losers semifinal or even the losers final and maybe get some grudge matches going on today.
Yeah, grudge matches. I mean, Jolly, it is the loser bracket. You know, your tournament life is on the line. That's never an easy thing to deal with.
No, but you know what? At the end of the day, when we're talking about grand finals, somebody from the losers final is going to be heading up that direction. So no matter what, we have these 8 teams split right in half, and one of these 4 teams of ladies is going to be able to head back up into the grand finals. Yeah, sure, you do have a little bit of a disadvantage there, and also just the opportunity of you know, if you get taken down here, you get taken down from the tournament, at least for this week, for right now. But still, being able to be here, being able to pick up the opportunity for the points, right? I sure hope that these ladies are motivated as much as I think that they will be going into this. So even though we're looking at some teams down below here in the lower bracket, do not expect minimal gameplay coming out of these gals.
All right, it's going to be an action-packed day. We're going to have a long one for you, so you're not going to miss out on anything, and we love having you here so far. Hitting that follow button if you haven't already. Today's schedule, starting off with both semifinal matchups, 69 Bandits versus Hydra Gaming. Then we'll move into Need 8's Bad versus Mirage, and from there, really, it's dependent on how the teams end up playing, right? So whoever ends up moving forward will therefore find our matches for winners finals, losers semifinals, losers finals, and grand finals. But either way, it is going to be a long broadcast, but it's going to be a great broadcast. We haven't had many true 4v4 female tournaments, Magic. In fact, I believe this is the 3rd one ever to take place in Halo Infinite.
It's the third one that I know of, and you never know if there's other events going on that maybe just didn't catch our attention as well, but there hasn't been that many. I mean, the game's only been out for, 3-4 months as it is.
Sure.
So it's exciting because I think a lot of these girls are still making a name for themselves within Halo Infinite, and for that reason, I'd like to see those players that are maybe the X factor, maybe unexpected, that can start today to really put their name out there.
That's definitely what I look forward to the most. Sorry, that's what I look forward to the most, right? It's these dark horse players and these dark horse teams that kind of come out of nowhere, because there's a lot of names on these rosters that we're very familiar with, having been involved in the scene, even just recently with Halo Infinite in particular, or even looking back at Halo 4, Halo 5, things like that. So there's some mainstays. I want to see somebody pop off, though, that I cannot forget the name of.
You know, I love that. I really do. Because the veterans are always going to have the spotlight. You know, they put in the time, they put in the effort. They're there for a reason. I love seeing those diamonds in the rough players, pop up and it's like, wow, I didn't know about this lady, or I didn't know about this player in particular, but now I do. And I'm not going to forget the name. And hopefully they'll have a bright and shining, future. And speaking of which, we talk about dark horse teams. We also talk about power teams. Let's talk about our first matchup. 69 Bandits versus Hydra. One that is going to be a tough one for one of the rosters you'd have to assume. And I gotta ask you, Jolly, you mentioned dark horse teams. Would 69 Bandits be in that category for
Absolutely.
this matchup?
I think for this matchup, yeah, totally. Especially if they're able to push this out. I'm assuming that this one's going to go more than just the 3 games. I don't expect a sweep on this one as good as Hydra is. I do think that 69 Bandits is going to be able to push this out. And for all I know, because I haven't really seen a ton of this team, they might be able to take this one and send Hydra down to the lower bracket.
Ooh, that would be something special, wouldn't it, Magic, if Hydra goes down to the loser bracket early on. Speaking of which, let's give you a little bit more insight, ladies. Let's look at our series overview. And Magic, I'm going to have you break it down.
Yeah, I love that we're starting out here with an objective mode that captures the flag on Aquarius. Aquarius is such a fast-paced map, so it'll be diving right into the action before going into the Slayer. You do see there's another Slayer at the very bottom there, the live fire. I would love to see this series go to a Game 5 so we can get to that next Slayer matchup there as well.
Game 5? Well, I mean, Jolly, you already called it and put it into the universe. You don't expect this to be a sweep, so Game 5 could be around the corner.
That's the hope. Hopefully I didn't actually cast or curse it. Hopefully it's not the opposite, right? I put it out there. We want to see it happen. I definitely do want to see more Slayer as well, especially with contentious matches like Strongholds and Oddball. They're kind of in the middle, right? So it gives the opportunity for all of these gals to really show off what they're good at and then end the day on something that is just a staple for all of us that play Halo.
Well, it takes 2 to tango. We got 2 of our dancers before you, 69 Bandits, Hydra Gaming. Let's get a little bit deeper in the head-to-head and really break them down. Magic, we'll start with you and pick any team, any player you want.
Okay, so if I'm going to look at a team that I think is going to take the series, I have to go with Hydra Gaming. They've been together as a team of 4 for longer, whereas 69 Bandits is pretty fresh as a team of 4. But if you're going to watch for a player, we talked about that dark horse, that X Factor. I really want you to watch Operant Power for 69 Bandits. She's been out here just working hard, and you have to appreciate that work ethic. I think that this team is a team to watch. They showed it in that comeback game on Strongholds to stay in the winner's bracket, and so I want you to watch for her making the plays. She has great call outs, she has great slaying ability, and so I think that she could really lead this team, maybe even take the whole series, but I want to see start with a game or 2 at least off of Hydra.
Yeah, if we're taking a look at Hydra, obviously JENELE, Mynx, right? We're very familiar with these names. For me, the one I'm keeping an eye on today is going to be krandberri. This girl can pop headshots like none other, and it always is unexpected for me, especially sitting alongside these top tier players like JENELE and Mynx, and she never fails to impress me. So that's the one I'm going to be watching today, but I definitely agree with Magic in that I hope that Hydra gets taken down a notch or 2.
Ooh, I like it. Throwing it out there. I like it when the broadcast gets spicy a little bit, okay? Hydra, they're the top dogs, at least as of right now. And it makes sense because they have proven success. And Magic and Jolly, you both have brought up a great point. This roster has stayed together. This 4 stack has been together competing now throughout Halo Infinite. And that value of staying together is truly remarkable and can't be understated. I always say it. You can have, 3 of the most talented players in the world across all of esports. esports. But if you add in an additional fourth, if you add in somebody fresh, it takes a little bit for that machine to be operational, if you will, right? It takes a little bit of time for that cog to start turning properly. And, well, in this case, for Hydra, they don't have to worry about that adjustment phase. Whereas 69 Bandits, a roster that formed before this event, they're going to be going against that team chemistry of Hydra. They're going to be going against a talented roster in general. And they, by far, are the underdogs in this series. But they have the chance to make an impact, and that's what I'm going to love about this series in general. And Jolly brought that up in the beginning. Maybe we talk about our veterans and stuff, but it's going to be great to see other teams, maybe take the reins and take over. And speaking of which, Magic, who is going to be taking over? Let's move into our predictions. Who do you think is going to win this series?
I still have to give it to Hydra. As much as I want to see 69 Bandits carry it through with a match or two, I think that ultimately Hydra, with that longer-term team chemistry, they've just had more time to build up their strategy. I think it's going to pay off. I think Hydra is going to win.
All right, Jolly, what about you?
Yeah, as much as I would like to invest in 69 Bandits, I haven't seen yet enough to actually do that, to put that forward. Hydra, we're all familiar with the players. We've seen them together. We've seen just how much they can accomplish. So I picked Hydra on this one.
I like it when the talent gets spicy. We don't get that spiciness, though, just yet.
No.
But you know what? We're going to have our time to shine. At least at some point, we are going to be going against the grain. Hydra is the obvious pick, but is it the obvious pick for chat? Are you going with Hydra? Are you going 69 Bandits? Are we going to be equal across the board? We will be. So, as I always like to say in prediction segments, when we all go for with one roster, the other roster, they just got to prove us wrong. 69 Bandits, they got to make us fans. And I believe these ladies can do that. I mean, again, that composure that they had against Grippy Sock Girls, especially in last Saturday and day one of this week one event, that speaks volumes about their composure. But I want to take a little bit of a deeper dive as we get loaded into the map. And Jolly, I want to go to you real quick about communication. Again, we talk about the 4-stack of Hydra, how that's going to be great. 69 Bandits, they've got great mechanical abilities, but they're still, a newer roster, right? So getting kills isn't going to be what I'm worried about for them. I'm going to be worried about what they do after getting those kills.
Yeah, positioning, call-outs, what they can take advantage of is really something that we're looking for in these maps, right? Because we've played enough on these maps. They're very reminiscent of old Halo, and there are some really solid points that if you can maintain those as a team, you just give yourself an upper hand. And
Sure.
So 69 Bandits, as long as they can get some of those shots off, as long as they can get some of these situations where they can place themselves in an advantageous position, hopefully they are capable of maintaining that. But that's the other nice thing about Halo, as while there are some great vantage points that you can take control of, there are also some great ways to get around that. And really, there's no specific spot in any particular map that is like, if you get this, you win the game. That's just not the case. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to mechanics. It's going to come down to the communication, the call-outs as well you were talking about there for these teams. So 69 Bandits, I want to see all these things that we're talking about. I want to see it presented nice and clear, and I want to see them be able to pop some shots off here onto Hydra, because again,
Right.
I mean, this is the expectation. Seriously, I think a lot of us are like, Hydra, they can take it. They can take all of this if they really want to and make it to the grand finals, no problem, this upper bracket. However, I would love to eat my own words on this.
I mean, of course. I mean, hey, I'm hungry after all. So don't talk about eating just yet, all right? Normally when I have Cullen on the desk, he's talking about food. He's eating Apple Jacks or whatever else. So, Jolly, I don't need you to do it too. Become redundant, and I need some food either way. Magic, you talked about operant power. You said, she's going to be your player to watch as a whole. Who does she need to put in check on Hydra Gaming if she had to go against anybody?
I think it's hard to narrow down. I'll narrow down to two. Can you accept that? JENELE and Mynx as,
Big
kind of
surprise.
the in-game leaders, They're really the glue that holds that roster together. All four of the Hydra lineup are solid players. I want to
Sure.
say that. But those two are the ones that are going to be calling the shots and making the big plays. So you have to somehow find a chink in that armor and then utilize it. So what I don't want to see from 69 Bandits, I don't want them to let a game get away from them. They might have had the ability to come back and win in the prior series that was last week, but they're not going to get that opportunity against Hydra. Hydra is too strong, so they have to start off strong if they want to take one or more of these maps against Hydra. But utilizing that chink in the armor, they're going to have to find a weapon that will work.
Ladies, I'm really surprised no one's brought up LeCar yet. I keep hearing about her and how amazing she really is.
Yes.
Jolly, let's talk about her. I mean, clearly she's been making waves in Halo competitive, specifically here in Halo Infinite. What makes her special?
Honestly, I gotta say, target acquisition is huge for LeCar. Like, spot on. Not only that, but also just the recognition of being able to say, okay, I'm coming around a corner. Her priority of angles is insane to me. I'm like, how is it that there's no consistency within this, right? When you're coming around an angle and there could be a player on the left, there could be a player on the right. But LeCar, every single time, is exactly in the right direction. And so she's definitely one of those solo players, too, like a solo sniper, right? If you see LeCar, you don't move in as a team thinking, oh, we've got this, no problem, right? It's like a 2v1 kind of situation. You have to watch out for her.
That's scary. So, I mean, Magic, from what I'm hearing then from Jolly is LeCar can literally dictate a fight and really, change the pacing in the way that a team is going to approach her as an individual. And what's scary about that is LeCar is one woman, one lady. Yeah. But you still got three more to deal with. So that makes Hydra, at least in my book, even better.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. LeCar's just outright slaying ability is almost unmatched. And I would not want to ever take a 1v1 on her. Nope. And I don't think we want to see that from the Bandits here either. You really have to be smart about where LeCar is. And so that's going to play into the communication that the Bandits are going to need to have. Not just playing the objective, if it's an objective mode, assuming, but also where is LeCar so that you don't end up trapped in a disadvantageous fight against her, because she'll punish you for it. So definitely something to watch out for.
And Jolly, you mentioned target acquisition, which is interesting because I'm going to bring Shewter to the table from 69 Bandits. She comes from Call of Duty. She used to be Mimsy Duo when it comes to Halo. She's talented in the way that she can, in fact, see her targets. And also the spacing, from what I heard, is a bit different from a traditional Call of Duty player entering in Halo. They don't necessarily stick side by side as you would see from Halo competitors. They kind of keep that distance, but they're not so far away to the point where they can assist you. So Shewter, coming from Call of Duty, how much of an impact do you think that's going to have here in the matchup?
I mean, I've seen Shewter before in Halo Infinite so far this year, and she has been exceptional. I do think, that it is that kind of that different approach, right? Where it is a team game, obviously, if you're playing Call of Duty, but that means that the comms are incredibly important. And that's a really good sign, right? If you're carrying over Call of Duty comms into Halo, that means that you're already in a prime position to be doing really well, because callouts are a huge part of this game. But we'll have to see how it works up against Hydra, where they can do that, or they can move as a 4-man unit, and it works both ways.
Well, we're moving into our map number 1. I can't wait to get this started. We've talked about how good Hydra Gaming is. We've also talked about some positive things from 69 Bandits. This is their time to shine. They got the spotlight on them. They really do. And everybody voted for Hydra, but that doesn't mean 69 Bandits are going to go down without a fight. I'm sure it's going to be an explosive map 1. Capture the flag on Aquarius. Ladies, I can't wait to get this started, so I'm going to hop out. You two, take it away.
Dude, Jolly, I feel like we have to start by also mentioning rrayni from Bandits. We highlighted almost every single player, and I don't want to leave her out. She doesn't deserve to be left out. If you see that clip from their comeback game on Stronghold Streets from last week, it's actually rrayni's point of view that we're watching there, and I think it highlights not just their comeback ability, but also some really great team comms, and I love how, they just have a good team energy considering how short-term they've been together, referring to the Bandits here.
That is, honestly, it's always such a good sign, and you have to consider, too, a lot of the younger teams, right, with some younger players, man, they were born into this. They have this advantage that we never had growing up. And so I do love to see some players pop off right off the bat. It does look like Operate Power has gone down. Divinity has found a responding kill to start this one, but no big surprise. That lady we were talking about, Miss xLehcar, is going to be able to pick up the first 2 kills in the game.
I mean, it's not a surprise, but thanks, xLehcar, for, kind of proving our point there right out the gate. The heat wave here, waiting, rotating around, and I love this little camera view, too. We can see how intense Divinity is here. So Divi rotating with the heat wave, really looking for that next opportunity. She sees Miss xLehcar. We warned about that 1v1 situation, but I like this smart play. Getting out some damage and then falling back, waiting for a teammate to either give her some support or maybe include the kill, and she takes care of that one by herself with a nice heat wave melee combo.
Dude, we're talking target acquisition. That is that right there. Are you kidding me? I mean, hey, if somebody's dropping down from above and you don't get the back smacked, and in turn you get the reversal, you are feeling really good. Shewter going down on that one. That means it's up to Operate Power and rrayni here to try to find some positioning for the rest of their team. Operate Power's going down. An opportunity maybe for a double kill right there. We're seeing that xLehcar is feeling quite good so far today, but it's quite back and forth here, Magic.
No, I like it. You know, we're starting off and we're a couple minutes into the game. No captures yet. I don't even know if there's been a flag touch, but look at the scoreboard. 3 kills come through, and I think that's a full team wipe. And unfortunately, Bandits are going to be left scrambling as they hit the respawn screen, and Hydra has a great opportunity here to make a push.
They just put themselves out in the open. They don't even care. Hydra's like, we'll take control of the bridge. We are solid in top mid. You know, make sure that we have eyes on that active camo, on that, oh my goodness, with some great shots there coming out of Mynx. No big surprise. And finally, we have the pickup on the flag. It is going to be dropped here. Hydra Gaming says you're not going to get far with that.
Yeah, krandberri had a nice little run with the flag, and we'll see if Hydra can pick up where she dropped off. But Operand, let's go, girl. Getting that nice double kill on the board. Is it going to be enough to reset the flag? krandberri, who was carrying the flag initially, is able to double back, get another touch, reset that timer. Now here comes Operand. They're still stuck in the utility, just going back and forth and kills, and the reset never came through.
It's 1 and then 1 and then 1, and basically taking the place here. But of course, we can see Mynx actually manages to find the double kill, stay alive on this one, pick up the flag to try to carry it across, and it looks like they just have to round the corner here. That is the first capture, and it comes through for Hydra Gaming.
No, she made such a smart play. She knew her shield was broken there, so she kind of fell back away from the flag, recharged the shield, and then you have to move across that open gap, but you want to have a full shield to do so safely. I think that just shows a really smart and very patient play coming out of this Hydra Gaming lineup. Meanwhile, Mynx, wasting no time, going back for a second flag grab, and then rotating it through here. She has a dynamo to work with. She has a couple frags, even a thruster pack, but none of it's enough as Operand finds her with a nice melee finish.
Good shot, should be able to, ooh, so close. One more bullet out of that spray onto JENELE, and that would have at least been a cleanup in that instance. Of course, JENELE immediately goes down after that one. krandberri is going to gain control here of this flag, trying to carry it up and over. They're getting a little bit shorter on time, though, for both of these players. krandberri feeling very comfortable with this one, and this should easily be the second capture for Hydra.
You know, she was really comfortable there, and you can tell why. You see this kills coming through for multiple members of the Hydra Gaming. So she didn't have to wait for shield or health or anything. She pretty much had an open path to dunk that flag right in, which is what she did. And again, Hydra Gaming wasting no time to grab yet another flag.
Man, no time at all. Once they hit the ground running, that's it. It's so hard to stop this team. You can see it right there. No contest, yet another capture, and that one is going to be a second one for Mynx. She's got the heat wave. That frag ends up missing, so she's got to take a scary positioning down here in the open. That's a-okay with her. It turns out she actually puts herself into a prime location to pick up a kill on the other side.
Yeah, unfortunately, rrayni found herself with a heat wave right behind her back. A heat wave in the hand of a Hydra teammate. There's a nice little tongue twister to start off the broadcast.
Alliteration.
But Mynx doing great with the heat wave. Still has plenty of ammo to work with.
Oh.
But we see multiple of the bandits on the defensive side here. Enough to pick up an assist right there as krandberri comes over for the cleanup, tossing a good grenade up the stairs. But the low ground's going to do her in, and that's going to end their push. But can we see a counter push from bandits? Is left to be seen if that's going to come through.
See now, xLehcar has positioned herself in this room, does realize, okay, I got to get the heck out of there. There's just too many members, but it's going to be a pickup. It's going to be assist. A nice nade thrown over from the side by Mynx there means that Hydra should be able to regain positioning. What a shot right there by Miss xLehcar. We'll see if she can pick up a double. That is it. The last shot. She has to switch over. Didn't reload on that battle rifle. Was able to pick up the kill there with the commando, but that is okay. Shewter on the other side gets taken down after trying to reset that flag.
Not just that double kill from Miss xLehcar, but the 20 bomb as she passes the 20 kill mark, Jolly. She's sitting at 20-7 with a handful of assists as well. If you let Miss xLehcar get this kind of momentum, you're climbing an uphill battle for the rest of the match, and she's not going to stop. She's still keeping that pressure on the 69 bandits, not giving them any rest or respite. In the meantime, Operand Power, she had a great position. She had top mid. It was enough to pick off one kill, but ultimately she was dropped, and bandits are doing everything they can to just play defense, which is not going to help their 3 capture deficit.
Oh, it definitely won't. You gotta go on the offensive if you want to try to tie things up here. A nice back smack right there means Miss LeCar is going to go down. Definitely not in a manner that she wanted to. We're gonna see now 69 Bandits try to transition this into the offensive like you were talking about. We got a couple members here on the right-hand side in blue utility. Picking up the one, a second one coming around, and that shield's dropped here for rrayni, so she's got to back out and reposition herself. Not quite the push 69 Bandits were looking for.
But maybe it wasn't a push. Maybe it was a distraction as Operant Power rotates around with the active camo for the flag grab. So even though maybe it didn't clear a path, it was enough to draw out that Hydra Gaming lineup. And Operant rolls through with the flag, with the camo, with the double kill. But now she finds herself alone in this utility room. Finally, Divinity rolls around, comes in, and now they're covering for each other. A great little game of cat and mouse between Operant Power and Divinity as they're trying to move this flag up.
Look at this!
And there's the killing spree! Let's go!
Oh my goodness! It has been, I mean, just Hydra filtering into these rooms. It was the blue utility room for quite a while. They're back into the top mid. Finally, it is going to be Opera Power who gets taken down, but it's a capture assist as 69 Bandits at least put one on the board thanks to Divinity with the carry.
I love to see that first capture. You don't want the game to end with a 0 on the scoreboard. That can be so demoralizing. So that one capture, even though it's not enough to even tie up the game or, you know, still break that hold that Hydra Gaming has, it sure is a morale booster to see that one on the scoreboard.
Yeah, to be able to transition from, you know, working for a good defense into a solid offense, that's very helpful, especially considering that those 3 captures were taken back to back to back early on by Hydra. And then we saw 69 Bandits say, okay, we need to clean up our defense. They did that. Okay, now we need to transition that into offense. They did that very well, and maybe another opportunity here as rrayni is trying to stop this capture from coming through. She does end up getting taken down, picks one up on her way out. We'll have to see if this one does get captured. It should be an easy one there for Mynx. That's going to put them one away from the win.
Just one capture left and 3:40 on the clock. We'll see what Bandits can do to have an answer. I do want to shout out Divinity sitting at 19 kills, almost breaking that 20 mark. She's been making some huge plays. Right now, rrayni in prime position, top mid, but not able to capitalize on it as she was just getting pressure from multiple sides as this Hydra Gaming team knows how to control the map or take back control when those brief moments for the Bandits come through, including Shewter right now. A great takedown, but she's going to have to hide behind the corner, take a few seconds to regen that shield. Meanwhile, rrayni coming over some nice cover and some beautiful shots to finish off that kill.
Especially with the crouch play going on there from krandberri, something that we're pretty used to if you watch this player. I do love when you know, some of the things that we kind of try to bring into fruition here is actually played out in front of us, and we're definitely seeing that with Miss LeCar, and also, as you mentioned, Divinity there now has hit that 20 mark. Shewter so close, we can see on her face being distraught about not being able to pick up that kill, and especially in a position where Hydra are just one capture away right now from being able to take the win on this first map.
Yeah, it's not looking good for 69 Bandits, but the story is not done, and it is a long series, so I feel like that first capture, great place to start. If they can double up those captures, even better, but I do see them kind of starting to turn around the pace of this game after 3 unanswered captures. Now we're on board with Mynx. She's having a solid game. She has, across the whole Hydra Gaming team, they all are in double digits for assists. I think that speaks to the team shooting, and it speaks to their communication as well. JENELE here taking advantage, gets a nice takedown, and now she's grabbing what could be the final flag of the game.
Let's see if it plays out, just taking it right through the middle. Trying to at least reset this one, but you can't get the reset when the flag is away on the other side. There it is. The reset does come through. Even though that flag was dropped in a pretty scary position right there, 69 Bandits did a good job of finding the reset, keeping this game going as far as they can possibly push it through. And the best thing to see is improvement in a team within just a single map, within a single match. And that is definitely something that I'm seeing here from 69 Bandits today.
Yeah, I'm surprised, like right here, Divinity giving some good cover fire, not over aggressive against that kill when she had the damage, but waiting for a teammate to come by and clean up and also covering for Operator who was weak at the time. It was enough to open up a path to grab the flag. Would love to see them double up on the flag captures. No dynamos available at the time, so Divinity has to run this flag all the way back with the help of her teammates and with no grenades to work with. She's already back to the base, but I'm seeing a lot of bodies going down from Bandits team. It's going to be hard to make that last push, but she gets the capture. A nice second score here for the Bandits.
That was fantastic. That is such a risky situation, right? Do you try to regain the little bit of shield that you lost? Do you try to just go for it because somebody's got sights on you and she went for it? Totally worthwhile for her there. She's got the 2 captures right now for the team, and that is pushing Hydra to their limits. Of course, we can see Krandberri just has to take this one around the corner to end things. It does look like she'll be able to capture it. She goes down immediately after there with the heat wave on the backside, but still, it was Hydra able to pick up game number 1.
I'm not all convinced that heat wave was maybe not friendly fire, as I knew the final capture was coming through. Maybe somebody joking around trying to steal the final capture from her, but a lot of fun coming out, and Hydra Gaming proving to be the top team, at least for game number 1. Remember, we're the best of 5, so there's still time left, and we did see a few glimmers of hope, a few amazing plays coming out of this Bandits lineup as well.
Oh yeah, that's the exciting part. And you know what? Capture the flag is definitely one of those where there are certain teams that just kind of struggle with it a little bit more. And we also know that Hydra, they excel in capture the flag, and particularly on Aquarius. That's a really common one that we've come to see. So, of course, as we're moving forward, we get to throw in a little bit of Slayer, then Strongholds, then Oddball, then maybe back to Slayer. So kind of going back to the basics for map number 2 might be a good thing here for 69 Bandits.
Yeah, I think so. You know, with them being probably the, not the favorite, the underdog, we'll say that. The underdog of this series, I think that Slayer is really their opportunity to prove what their skill can do in this next upcoming Slayer map where we're going to be going to streets. But here's a couple of quick replays from the last game, and man, Jolly, we sure caught a lot of good action on the cast.
Oh my gosh, we so did. These ladies are not holding anything back for us to start the day off, and that's, you know, you always get concerned. You're like, all right, we want the energy to start right on this broadcast, and we got that from both of these teams. Honestly, 69 Bandits, they really impressed me on this one. Like I said, the beginning of the game was very much in favor of Hydra, right? We had a situation where it was 3-0 pretty early on, back to back. You had Mynx picking up 2 of those. And the recognition that we got out of 69 Bandits of being able to say, okay, this is what we need to work on right now. This is how we need to move forward. And then they executed it perfectly is a really, really admirable thing.
No, absolutely. Those 3 unanswered captures really speaks to their consistency as a team and their experience working together. But I'm happy to see Bandits getting a couple of captures on the scoreboard, especially breaking that 3-0 hold. And some really nice trading off of damage that made them look like a more unified team, even with less experience together as a unit. And then there you see the final capture coming through as a 5-2 victory is going to go game 1 to Hydra Gaming.
See, 32 was the most kills, and it was xLehcar. We saw some of those shots. We actually didn't see a ton from her perspective, to be honest. We were seeing quite a bit of Mynx, quite a bit of JENELE, at least on the side of Hydra there, as we can see that we are setting up for streets for Slayer here. And it is 5-2 on that capture, obviously, as you need the 5 for that to run through. So 69 Bandits, you know what? I'm really looking forward to watching these gals continue to play. Of course, this is a best of 5 as we're going forward. And even if they fall to Hydra here, they have the opportunity to climb through in the lower bracket. So they're not out of it yet, even if things end badly. We've still got several games, though, to watch just how well and what they have to offer here.
I think that Slayer is a great opportunity for them. We saw them on streets do really well as a team with the comeback from last week, so we know they're comfortable with this map. But also with just the outright slaying power, they have rockets to work with, they have the bulls out to work with, so many different utilities as well. But I want to see them show a little bit of patience, maybe not going overly aggressive for that first takedown, but looking for a window of opportunity and then making the choice to capitalize.
We'll have to see how it plays out as we are already in it. And of course, JENELE able to pick up 2. It's 4-1 at the moment. Shewter having the only pickup. We can see rrayni there. And oh my goodness, it's just these split fights across the map back and forth. And basically a reset for the majority of this team here for 69 Bandits.
Yeah, we do see Shewter was the one that came out with control of the rockets, gets a nice takedown with it, and now on board with JENELE, she is taken down, and that's gonna bring 69 Bandits right back into this game, 5-6. I think the rockets are out at this point, but keep your eye on Shewter there. You see her with the empty rockets that she got to use and get some kills off of them, and now focusing that fire on MsLehcar. Again, you don't want that 1v1, but maybe a 2v1, and a great melee, jumps back, finishes off the kill on krandberri, and grabbing a little sentinel beam action here. Going in for the double, but not quite able to finish off as MsLehcar closes in for the kill.
It was a good attempt there. I like to see the sentinel beam come out in close quarters like that. What good shots coming from MsLehcar. This is exactly what I'm talking about in this gal. Just the target acquisition was the thing that, you know, I always have to commend her for, and she is not disappointing us here at all today. It looks like kind of taking control of Old Town over here on the opposite side of the map. Operant Power is going to be able to come out with one and then immediately get taken down from behind by Mynx, who is sitting pretty comfortable right now at 4-0-2 here. Now 69 Bandits, they just need to kind of reorient themselves, right? They're moving forward now as a team together to try to pick up Mynx here in the tower.
Now, it does look like 69 Bandits were all there at the back of an A tower, but now they're splitting up almost in a 2-2 formation, which can do well for team shooting, but it requires a lot of communication, and krandberri there finds a way to flank around behind with the Bulldog and then swaps over the Bulldog for a fresh rocket. Let's see what krandberri can create with this. She catches Divinity off guard. Maybe the rocket wasn't even needed, but then with a second rocket, not enough to finish off the kill, but enough to pick up an assist.
Still leaves a couple of rockets. I didn't actually see who was able to pick that one up as the fight was still going on. JENELE is going to find out rrayni. Operant Power stays alive, though, at least picks up the assist, barely getting out of there with the thruster, but rounding the corner. I don't even know how she died. You could see on her face that she was kind of asking the same question herself, and it is now Hydra that has kind of taken the lead on this one, 24-16. Still nothing decisive yet, though.
No, I liked it early on. You know, we saw Hydra Gaming have a lead, and then 69 Bandits fought their way back. But now as they're down by 6, I want to see if they can come through with a full team wipe. And it's going to start right there as they take out maybe the toughest competitor with MsLehcar. Now can they carry that momentum through and kind of pick off this Hydra Gaming lineup one at a time? We know how strong Hydra is individually and as a team, but I think your best bet if you're the Bandits is to isolate and then take advantage of team shot ability.
Exactly, and this is the kind of you know, point taking that is going to work really well. If you're on these stairs and you try to either hit the top and the bottom of the stairs or 2 points on either side, basically sets you up for a good position. It's gonna be a nice little melee there by rrayni, but it ends up being another pinch to come through from Hydra, and they always end up coming out ahead in a 2v1 situation like that. Makes things very difficult for Bandits to kind of reorient themselves or regain some positioning for themselves as a team.
Yeah, it did look like Divinity got caught off guard there. Here comes MsLehcar with a double kill, and she only took maybe 1 burst of damage throughout, going after the triple. Bit off maybe a little more than she could chew, but a huge play from MsLehcar. I think there's fresh rockets, and if I'm not mistaken, they might have ended up in the hands of Mynx, as Operant tried to combat against it, but was unable to. And here comes Mynx with those fresh rockets, firing into Red Room, enough for 1 kill. Shewter there trying to counter it. rrayni ends up with a nice little kill and trying to preserve that health bar.
That was the last of the rockets for now, at least. Not a great situation there for rrayni, getting caught between a rock and a hard place, and that's definitely something that's working really well for Hydra here, is just finding these pinch opportunities. And there are so many of them on streets. That's something that I love and also hate about this map in particular, is there's a lot of times where you'll get taken down and you're like, where did I even die from? Which direction? They could have been in any direction behind me or in front of me. It really doesn't matter. So Hydra taking advantage of that. We now see the sentinel beam being picked up here by LSPS, trying to find that close range target acquisition, as we know she's very good at. And once again, Hydra moving forward as a squad.
Now look at Mynx kind of trapped there on her own, and now here comes the wave of Hydra Gaming. Now we know that MsLehcar can be a laser, but can she be a laser with the laser, meaning the sentinel beam? We'll see if she comes through, and you watch that scoreboard, see if one pops up. It's better in the close range, so whenever she thinks she might be getting into a close quarters engagement, you see her swapping over, and then for the mid to long range, going back to that BR. Here's Operant Power though, picking off a kill. She has so many players weak here, needing a second to reload as JENELE is closing in. And it was the spike grenade from MsLehcar xLehcar that ended up doing her in, and Mynx as well coming out with a kill. LeCar coming out with a kill. They extended their lead. They're now up by 17 with only 4 kills left for Hydra Gaming to take game 2 and go up in the series 2-0.
I do like to see Operant Power on screen. I love, ooh, there's a nice little Sentinel beam play right there. It doesn't actually come out to kill. Oh, this is almost death right here. We are watching basically 1 health for LeCar, but she manages to stay alive. That is going to be the victory going over here to Hydra Gaming, putting themselves at match point for the series. I was gonna say, I love these cams that we're getting from these players, and in particular, Operant Power. You can see exactly her emotions, how she's feeling on each of these plays, and I feel the exact same way of, oh man, you know, the spike coming from behind, like such a good play, so many great instances. But I do love the fact that we get to see some of these beautiful ladies in action.
I mean, isn't that what Halo Infinite is? You can do everything right and still somehow a grenade's gonna finish you off, seemingly from out of nowhere. But credit going back to Hydra Gaming. They know where those lanes are. They know where those hiding spots are. And so they utilized it really well with a solid win, a decisive win even on game number 2.
Oh yeah, that one was pretty decisive. 50-32 was still well played there by 69 Bandits, but they clearly struggled, especially towards the end of that game. Of course, this is a best of 5 series. We are going to take a very quick break though, to give the gals an opportunity to maybe go to the bathroom, grab some drinks, and that's going to give you, the viewers, the opportunity to do the same thing. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back with more Lady Spartans Pro Series.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Lady Spartan Pro Series powered by Game Gooder. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Jolly and Magic. An incredible performance from them. An incredible performance from Hydra. They lead 2-0 in this best of 5, 1 map away from getting a clean sweep here. Something Jolly said we hopefully won't see, but the caster curse seems to be real. But all that aside, let's go back, Jolly, to map number 1, CTF on Aquarius. A fantastic map for Hydra. They win it 5-2. But I wanted to really talk about 69 Bandits to start off, because I saw some glimmers of hope, some rays of light, right, shining through the dark clouds. And obviously, I'm talking about great performances from Divinity, as well as Operant Power, the player that Magic obviously wanted to watch off the start, when she kind of spoke about. But those two running the flag was a beauty to behold.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I think, between the two of those as well, right? Like Operant Power and Divinity definitely at least taking the reins in terms of like the captures and things like that. But Divinity, popping off right off the bat, hitting over the 20 kills as well in that first one. So there's a lot of promise here, and I think that's what we were looking for. And another thing, that I kind of just mentioned during the game is just the fact that improvement is what we're looking for, especially for teams that are a lot fresher, a lot newer, have less veterancy underneath their belts, and we are seeing some really good stuff coming out of 69 Bandits here. So I've got fingers crossed that Live Fire, Strongholds, this next one is going to go in their favor and push this out so it's not a sweep.
My only worry, Magic, you brought up a fantastic point. We had a chance to watch, obviously, that CTF Aquarius, and you mentioned, everybody on Hydra being in double digits when it came to assists. That means they're all shooting for each other. Their positioning is great, and they're all getting a piece of the opponents they're trying to take down. As we move into map 3, Live Fire Strongholds, that teamwork is truly going to make the dream work. And I ask you, how can 69 Bandits taper? By the way, hold up a second. Let me just take a little bit of a break. The glasses you're... Yo, we flexing on me with the pink. By the way, I wanted pink glasses. I'm going to put mine on. But what do we got? What are we wearing, ladies? What do we got here?
Oh, man, these Game Gooder glasses. I wish I could see the screen better, because the style of this frame in particular, I am in love with. I've been wearing the other frames, these the clear lenses. Yeah, the snake oils are solid, but these particular sunglasses, this is my vibe in a pair of sunglasses. I didn't know it existed.
You know what? Honestly, okay, one of my favorite things is, I don't know about you guys, but I received this package, and it was from Carl the Flamingo.
Yes.
Who is within the box, obviously on the little mascot here. So I received a package directly from Carl the Flamingo, and yeah, they each came with these, they each came with this little magnetic box, of course.
I love it.
Right. There's Carl there for you, or on the back. There we go. There's the side.
I love Carl.
Whichever direction.
He's got shoes on and everything.
Yeah.
Did you see the LSPS, or did you see them tweet it out from their social media? They had Carl, and he had the sword and everything, and
No.
It like had the
Wait,
shield
I
on. Oh,
missed
you got to go
that.
check it out. So you
I
got
missed
you got
that.
to check him out. No, it was great. Like Carl was decked out. I wouldn't mess with Carl.
I could cast in
normally I'm
these.
not scared. But
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I could cast in these. Like you like obviously you guys can see everything that is in front of me, right? My messy
course.
desk right now.
Beautiful setup.
But yeah, thank you. But seriously, these actually, like, considering how dark they look, they're not really they don't infringe on my ability to see at all. There are very
Sure.
few sunglasses, let alone ones that look this cool, that I'm capable of casting in and seeing the screen well.
yeah, I'm a big fan. I really am. You know, affordable glasses, cheap glasses, $25, $35 a pair, but not cheap in quality. And that's what I love about them. Blue lights. You can also wear them out there in the sunset or the sun as you guys were just representing. But overall, great stuff. And it's important to see your competition, just like it's important for 6ix9ine Bandits to see that it's 2-0 right now. They've got to come back. And Magic, I'm going to go back to you once again. You know, there's a point that I was bringing up that, at some point you mentioned double-digit assist. Again, all of Hydra is shooting for each other. Even on Slayer, we saw the scoreboard. Everybody from Hydra going positive in the KDA category. How are you feeling about 6ix9ine Bandits' chances as we hop into map number 3?
I feel good about their chances overall in the bracket. In this exact series, Hydra Gaming has shown themselves to be dominant, and I honestly think at this rate they're going to go 3-0, especially with that team shooting factor. When you have every player in the
Sure.
double-digit assists, that's going to help you out so much in strongholds because you need that map control and you need that cover fire. Now, the one thing I will say with this map here going to live fire that might work in Bandits' favor, they could utilize, is it kind of has separate lanes where Streaks
Right.
did not have so much. So if they can find a way to utilize a lane and hold that one zone
lane?
or hold that one side of the map, then that's what's going to be able to work in the Bandits' favor.
Jolly. Okay. Who's late?
I'm so happy. I'm like giddy with myself. I'm like, oh, that was funny. I made joke.
Whoever Lane is, she needs a hug, so hopefully they can hold on to her because
there
she's
you
the
go.
key to victory. So
By the way, the player camps, was that not a beautiful thing to see their reaction? And also to see that even though 6ix9ine Bandits were down, like you could tell in their player camps, like they weren't getting affected by that Jolly. Like they always seemed like they had their head in the game.
They do. I'm sorry. I'm freaking out right now. I don't know how. I never noticed. Hydra. There's an H. There's an H within the logo. I don't know if you guys.
I see it now.
It is,
I didn't even look.
It is
Magic, I didn't see it either.
Amazing. Okay, that is incredible.
I love Jolly now. Magic, and I'll tell you why I do. Because there's been times where I've been, because I've been working with UMG for a while. We do a lot of productions. And there's been times where I'll be like, wow, that's a fantastic graphic top right showing the map. And I love that they're showing that beautiful addition to our new graphics package. And they're like, brother, that's been on there for like 3 months. And I'm like, yo, I didn't even see it. So Jolly pointing that out, yo, hey, we're best friends, Jolly. Magic, did you know there was an H there? Be honest. Are you smarter than us?
I did not, but I do have to respect Hydra Gaming. Hydra Gaming, being an org, like having an org representation in the tournament, props to you, Hydra, for supporting these ladies, and obviously they're being great representatives of the org as a whole as well. But the logo, no, I did not pick up on that. That's pretty stellar.
Well, I know there's a question, who is Lane? Well, let's talk a little bit about who Lane is, and something that I had a chance to talk to Mynx about, actually. I had to sit down with her. By the way, I just want to shout out to all the fantastic female competitors and you, Magic, as well, who had a chance to sit down with me and really talk about the who's who when it comes to female competition and what talent is really out there and what they could bring to the table. And Mynx gave me some inside information when it comes to Hydra Gaming, and that is their aggression. We've seen that aggression already, specifically on Aquarius CTF. They were literally running down mid without any respect to what 6ix9ine Bandits could bring their way. LSPS was practically living in the center of the map because she was bobbing and weaving. She didn't care what was going to be coming her way. But that aggression does have some fundamental behind it, and that is to split spawns, Magic. So let's talk a little bit about that. We're moving into Stronghold Live Fire, splitting spawns with that aggression. We talk about the different lanes. How can that prove beneficial here in map number 3?
I mean, one of the hardest to capture strongholds here for live fire has got to be B. It's the most out in the open, but if you know where the other team is rotating, it's also can be the easiest one to cover because of that wide open approach. So let's say, for example, you have that CB hold and you know it. If you know where those spawns are coming through and back A, window side or garage side, you can just be scoping down from catwalk, from nest, whatever the case may be, and just have your sight set on sandbags on the garage door and just prevent anybody from being able to even step foot on B. So that's where knowing those spawns and knowing those map rotations is really going to come into play. That's one example, obviously, but I think you'll see more of that from Hydra Gaming. I'm going to be taking notes. I got my notepad at the ready to watch where they're scoping after a team wipe, because we've seen them come through with team wipes before, but they're so quick to then roll it into the next play. So watch where they're scoping, where they're pre-aiming, and xLehcar is a great example of that. She seems to always know where these players are, just ready for that next fight.
I got to pump the brakes a little bit, right, Jolly? You know, sometimes aggression is great, but aggression can quickly turn into recklessness if you don't taper it off, right? So Hydra's going to have to take a step back, if you will, but these are maps that they've been playing consistently. They're well-versed on any map in any game mode, as we have clearly seen, and I think Stronghold was one of the game modes that they said is, you know, their best game mode, actually, and that's what Mynx ended up saying. So you're up 2-0 if you're Hydra. Now you're going into your best game mode, and you've already played this series phenomenally well. I could potentially see this ending 3-0. I really could, Jolly. And I hate to say that because 69 Bandits has shown great strength, but Hydra Gaming is just one step above it.
You know, I mean, we kind of acknowledge this. It's like you go in, you're in the upper bracket, but you're going up against Hydra to start the day off. Like it is a steep mountain to climb as it is, right? And it's not a hill. It's a summit. It's a pretty big one at that. It's a highway to the apex on this, and especially going into strongholds and on live fire in particular. This is such a great strongholds map, and definitely one that Hydra is well versed in. So, you know, I still have faith. I've got faith in 69 Bandits here. They played really well. They've had a couple of minutes as well to kind of like refigure out what they're doing, and recalibrate, regain control of this, hopefully, and you know, at least go in and take some control of some of these points, because like you and Magic were talking about, the rotations are incredibly important on this one, and if you can disrupt not just the rotations but also some of these control points that are being held, if you've got like the B and C, for instance, if you've got the A and the B, to be able to say, okay, we know exactly where we're going, we know where that chink in the armor is, that exposed you know, at least that exposed advantage that we might have for ourselves. We're just gonna have to see how they can execute it, because that's the problem here with Hydra, is they're so predictive. They have so much anticipation on a lot of these plays. It's hard to get a step ahead.
Yeah, it's tough because they do a lot of things right, you know, and that predictive, I mean, you both have pointed it out, you know, where are they going to be having their aim down sights, where are they going to be looking at the positioning after, obviously, they end up getting those slays. It's going to be tough. It really is. But 69 Bandits, huge fan of them. I really am. Love the player cams, and I love their composure and their ability just to compete. But it is a large mountain to climb, without question. We're going to take a quick break, though. We're going to have a little bit of a pullback on the lobby. When we come back, hopefully we'll be starting map number 3, and the series will continue. Welcome back from that short break. Obviously here with the Lady Spartan Pro Series, powered by Game Gooder. Just so you guys know, 69 Bandits, Hydra Gaming, deadlocked here in this series. Hydra leads 2-0. Map number 3 is going to be coming up shortly. Stronghold Live Fire. When that is ready to go, we'll be hopping into it. We brought up a lot of fantastic points, though, and kind of broke it down for the audience at home. And, you know, chat's been asking, you know, is Hydra one of the favorites to win the tournament? Yes, they are. And speaking of which, I only bring you up, chat, because please, I encourage you, ask questions out there. We would love to address from you. I personally like interacting with chat as much as I possibly can, especially if there's some downtime. So if you have anything you want to talk about, bring it up. And of course, I pass it over to the experts of Jolly and Magic as they'll break it down for you. But ladies, we're about to hop into map 3 once again. And I just wanted to point out, by the way, who was it that took over krandberri? I think that was you, Jolly, and you said you know, krandberri was your, and you know, krandberri actually led in the slaying department on Slayer. I was really impressed to see that. So both of you, both Operant Power and krandberri, have really had their moments to shine.
Yeah, hey, we're not always wrong, okay? Very often,
Never.
very often we are. But in this instance, especially when it comes to just, these players that we're familiar with, whether, even if it's, 69 Bandits, who's a newer team, but still, at least we've been able to do some research on them, right? And so definitely, krandberri, and with krandberri, it was one that I was like, I don't want to put more focus on Mynx and JENELE, right? They get so much coverage as it is, and we saw a lot of their perspective. We didn't see as much from krandberri, but yeah, had the most kills, I think, in both of the games, actually. Of course, not that the captures, not the kills during capture the flag means as much, but I think she had like 32 on that one. So still, I mean, really popping off on a lot of these plays. And that's something that I've just come to expect from her, right? Her headshot, that target acquisition on headshots is really, really good from her. So keeping an eye on her. Same thing with Shewter, who, maybe kind of underperformed, I would say, in the first two, but I have seen Shewter around in the scene so far this year a couple times. And when she's on, she is on.
And she had plenty of moments at the beginning of Aquarius. I remember you actually pointing her out and saying, look, we talked about the target acquisition, and there it was. And, it's just got to be a little bit more dominant and prominent. But regardless, though, it's tough to have a strong individual effort when Hydra is pressuring you so hard as a collective unit. And I think they're doing a great job, really soloing out the team of 69 Bandits. And that makes it difficult for any individual to have a pop-off play. I want to highlight, though, Divinity, Magic. Divinity, we talked about it, and I think it was me and you, actually, who had a chance to kind of talk earlier on in the week, and you mentioned Divinity and how she's coming into Halo Infinite, and she's really wanting to make an impact in Halo Infinite competitive. Let's talk a little bit about that and what makes Divinity special.
Man, I love just that in itself, like that mental perspective of kind of looking at the longer term. Like maybe we're not winning this game right now, but Halo Infinite's going to be around for a while, and Divinity is here to make an impact. She might be out of Chicago, but she doesn't need much warming up. She's coming out really strong with some good plays, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from her throughout today's bracket, but also moving forward. I think she's a solid all-around player, great comms, great slaying ability, great objective play, but what Bandits are still lacking is a cohesive four, and they're going to need that coming into Strongholds.
Map 3, it's going to be an exciting one. Well, I guess we're going to find out soon enough. Hydra Gaming 69 Bandits, map number 3. Girls, take it away.
Thank you. It's never soon enough, all right? It's never soon enough, but we at least have some Halo gameplay. Everybody is in the lobby. We can see sitting up here in the tower is Operant Power. Not feeling as comfortable as she might hope to, having control of this position pretty early on. She's going to have to drop down to the side, and I do think that was a pinch opportunity as well there. xLehcar going down on top of it. Hydra already kind of put up against the wall a little bit. Very short early lead here for Bandits, but they're gaining positioning.
Yeah, always keep an eye on that B capture, though. A and C, you can see those trade off, and they're about equal, but B is really the point to focus your attention on, being harder to capture, but easier to hold. So a lot of times you'll see an AB or a BC hold. Sometimes you'll see an AC, but usually you use it as a distraction to get back over to B side. So normally speaking, whoever's in control of B is in control of the game, which would mean that right now we see a little bit from Hydra Gaming as they have a B, and now they have options. Do they want to rotate A side or they want to rotate? It looks like they're going to pick C in this instance, but here's the active camo combined with the heat wave. What a deadly combination those two can be.
Well, luckily for Hydra here, I mean, that didn't come into play. Of course, we can see the heat wave is still there. Maybe another opportunity, but on the drop down, JENELE manages to pick up 2 right there. The heat wave being picked up immediately after by xLehcar, who picks up 2 for herself. These two, I mean, 2, unstoppable.
I mean, you get a double, your teammate gets a double. It's a team wipe between just the two of you, and that leaves you with a great opportunity for map control as you have a couple of players free to roam. xLehcar here using the plasma pistol, and not quite able to survive that. And here come the snipes out of krandberri. You want those to connect so bad. Now focusing her attention back on B, but forced to retreat and taken down by Divinity. We'll see where that sniper ends up getting picked up, but Divinity rolling through, hungry for that next kill.
Man, that's so unfortunate because I know krandberri is amazing with the sniper. That first shot, honestly, I swear it hit. I thought that first shot hit. Doesn't matter, though. It does look like Mynx has control of the active camo on this one while they reposition to have a vantage point over B. And it does look like one of those shots, one of those kills is going to come through. And now we can see maybe a little bit of a wraparound here. A 2v1. Mynx manages to stay alive, drops down here into the tunnels, trying to get a vantage point around the house. She does manage to pick up the one with a beatdown. It looks looks like the rest of the team is doing well there. krandberri finding one with the nade, xLehcar on the other side finding one, and so this is where Hydra, we know they can split themselves up, they can move together as a unit. Either way, they're going to find some sort of advantage.
Yeah, and that advantage is going to get doubled as this triple cap comes through, and their score is going to go up 2 points at a time until Bandits can find a way to break it. It looks like Bandits are going to split up, going to A and C. We see JENELE here with the heat wave fighting to defend C, but Divinity somehow staying alive, and even with the repulsor was able to connect on all of those shots, which is an incredibly difficult thing to do. So credit to Divinity, immediately rolling through with that heat wave, looking for the next target, and I think she's gonna find it. It's gonna be krandberri here, bouncing around on B, and Divinity continues to be on the hunt. Actually takes down xLehcar first, but the snipe from JENELE seeming out of the blue. A great snipe from JENELE to stop what could have been a killing spree.
Yeah, that's one of those instances where I'm like, oh, what? Where did I die? Where did I die from? It is going to be JENELE that gets taken down, though, near that tower. There were a couple of shots left in the sniper, if I'm not mistaken here. Now good acquisition there from krandberri to ensure the headshots come through while taking very little in response. I mean, a great job here so far by 69 Bandits to set themselves up for something. Now maintaining A. We'll see if they can actually get this pickup. It is contested once again.
No, that early lead from Bandits is being melted by these back-to-back triple caps from Hydra. We do see some zones being contested, which is going to help, but meanwhile, still going up 2 points at a time. There goes the lead over to Hydra Gaming with the help of that triple capture. Shewter here trying to make a play happen, but she doesn't know that JENELE just prowling around the corner with the camo. Gets not the first back smack, but the second one comes through, gave up her position, but man, I like that patience with that active camo. Really like a tiger stalking their prey.
Rude. That's all I gotta say. That was rude. We'll see now 69 Bandits can take over A and get themselves a triple capture. It's going to happen, but just for a quick moment, B actually remains secure. It was Hydra that was on this point trying to regain control. Great shots right there from rrayni to ensure that B stays within their grasp, and the lead has gone once again back over to Bandits. It is still a very close match with only about 10 points between these two teams.
No, I love to see rrayni making the plays here. I have to admit she started off a little bit cold in that Aquarius captured the flag, but since there she's really turned up the heat. xLehcar once again in double digits, but notice also Shewter. If you're keeping up with xLehcar's kills, you know you're doing something right. So credit to Shewter on that one. xLehcar is going to pick off another kill, turn around and help with covering that C and going for that capture here. If they can get a quick AC hold, maybe use it to rotate back to B, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do, as now Bandits are forced to try to swap back over to A side.
They're still holding B, at least they were for a moment. Mynx was able to get that one, immediately gets taken down, of course. That might give an opportunity here to Bandits to navigate their way over to B. It does look like that is the case, as they are halfway to capturing this one. They still have themselves the lead, and with this double cap now, ooh, almost it's contested at the very last second, and they don't get the pickup. No, wait, one, and then another krandberri just bullying these members of 69 Bandits, saying, nice try, you almost had the point, but no, it will remain ours.
Dude, krandberri just got the triple kill and preserved her life in order to get the B capture. What a huge, even clutch play coming from krandberri, not giving up an inch of space here for the Bandits to try to take this win. So here comes krandberri. She's holding out. She is the lone sentinel of the B zone, and now taking that as a springboard over to A side. There's two targets here. Can she get another double kill or a triple kill? It's enough for a killing spree. Now preserving her life as grenades are exploding like it's the middle of an action film. Somehow krandberri is still alive.
I honestly could not believe that. She's on a spree as well right now. We'll see if the members of 69 Bandits can end that. The rotations are so clean right now from Hydra. And the big thing too is that you can tell the communication is also really on point. In that situation where krandberri comes around the corner, it's a 2v1 kind of opportunity. Hydra ensured that it was only a 1v1, that krandberri maintained the upper hand and could stay alive there. And so they have, I mean, a tight grip on this A point right now. Does look like C is trying, there's an attempt at taking C right now here. xLehcar is going to ensure that that does not happen, and it's once again a full capture by Hydra as they are getting closer and closer to the end of the game.
Oh man, that total control, all 3 points across the board. It's so hard to come back from that. You have so much ground to make up. Credit to Hydra for controlling it. I like that little toe touch from LeCar to reset the zone, even though she didn't overcommit to it. Here comes Mynx now with the heat wave at the ready. Takes down 1 kill. Now Operant Power approaching her on the stairs from Garage, dealing out some shots, but not enough as Operant Power is going to come away with a nice kill. LeCar cleans it up and then switches to the sniper. Quick body shot and then back to the BR for the cleanup. A nice double kill from LeCar, and the battle up for B continues.
Man, the battle for B is right. And honestly, it's the battle all three. It keeps going back and forth. Total control for either of these teams. Hydra being so close to the end. That means that 69 Bandits absolutely know this is their last opportunity, especially considering the fact that this is match point right now for Hydra to get a sweep in this series. A great job by 69 Bandits to really navigate their way to maybe some of these more exposed points, but Hydra has also buckled down. We're seeing that with the number of kills across the board, almost reaching 20 for every single player here as they are working. JENELE is at 19 at the moment. 69 Bandits, the clock is ticking. They're regaining control of everything. Once again, they find themselves total control here.
Yeah, Operant and Shewter trying to make something happen here. They need to break that triple cap hold, and they are going to find a way to do it. Here comes LeCar trying to clear out, but no health. A lot of kills coming in for 69 Bandits. This is a window of opportunity for them, and they need to capitalize. Look at this trap coming in as who is left alive. It's krandberri again, but this time rrayni says, you might have pulled this off before, but not this time. And there comes the B cap in for Bandits, which they so desperately needed. We've seen them clutch up a stronghold from behind before. Can they do it again?
This is a really, I mean, it's looking really good for this team. Of course, D is being held right now by Hydra, so they're slowly ticking their way to victory. A and B, though, have been in control of 69 Bandits for the last couple of minutes, and Hydra has been really trying to grab this B point. They're finally going to be able to do that, but it looks like they're giving up C to be able to get that B positioning, and there it is. Hydra quickly picking up 2, getting themselves the advantage. 69 Bandits saying not quite.
Oh man, the captures are just trading back and forth along with the kills. Operant comes out with 2 rounds of the sniper. Keep your eye on the active camo as it's going to be up in just a few quick seconds here. And it looks like Operant's going to play this side of the map. Now we did say those lanes are very important. Operant using this camo side lane, but taken down. So sniper and camo go into the hands of Mynx, and she knows how to work with both of these items.
She knows how to work with everything, to be honest. I mean, we've seen Mynx is one of the most capable Halo players I have seen in, I mean, just in general. I was gonna say in a long time, but really just across the board, whether it's old Halo, whether it's new Halo, it really doesn't matter. And that's the great thing about a lot of these ladies is the transition from previous games to be able to say, hey, we're going back to basics, right? Halo Infinite is honestly just incredible in that sense, very reminiscent of the earlier Halo games that we have all come to know and love. And 69 Bandits, they're holding on just until the last moment, 188 to 250. Such a close scoreline, but like that, in a sweep fashion, Hydra is going to take series number 1.
What a performance from Hydra. I mean, come on. We expected 69 Bandits to fight hard. And ladies, I think they did fight hard. I'm going to be honest with you. 69 Bandits played incredibly well. Hydra just simply played better, and that's just the way that it is. But Hydra really is showcasing why they are a step above, and really showcasing to me, Magic, when you stay together as a 4-man or a 4-lady unit, it really does make you special. We saw it on Aquarius. We just seen it on Stronghold. You know, Slayer was great in its own right, but one thing that I do like is that teamwork really did make the dream work, and that was one of the key factors to success for Hydra here.
No, absolutely. You saw it even come to play there in that last live fire with the sniper plays. You'd see one person hit a body shot and then not over pursue and allow your teammate to finish off that kill. Be happy with the assist because ultimately your team's going to come out ahead in those situations. So the team plays were very evident, and I have to be impressed with the number of triple caps that Hydra Gaming was able, and ultimately that's what won them that match.
I think you called this Jolly like this. This was just mean, right? Just dirty and rude. That
rude.
That kill with AC, man, was nasty. But a lot of kills honestly came down to, you could call them rude in a way. We have 3 hills, right? But it seemed like B was kind of the main focal point for the majority of time. And you guys even called it the Battle of B, and I agree with you.
battle at B. You know, it's very common, right? Because you have vantage points from around A and C that both give you a perspective onto B. Of course, not every single perspective because there are so many little hideaway opportunities. That's the one, honestly, that I'm just like, come on. This is just, we're watching cyberbullying happen right now. And I don't know if I'm a fan of it, but my goodness, I mean, B was very contentious. That is a very normal thing. What is more surprising is that A and C, I mean, once B control happened, it was like across the board. Both of the teams were like total control, full captures, right?
Sure.
And it was kind of reliant on B. That was like the catalyst of these captures. But, you know, while yes, Hydra did a great job of doing that, towards the second half of the game, there was a lot of total control held by 69 Bandits. And so you have to acknowledge that, you know, their survivability, their stability, and their adaptability all came into play here and at least pushed this out much farther than Hydra would have liked.
And Magic, I keep saying, you know, Hydra, obviously, they were the favorites coming in. 69 Bandits, we already knew they were going to have a bit of a struggle here, but what are some key takeaways, some positivities we can say for 69 Bandits as a whole that might make them a front runner to potentially face off against, who knows, maybe Hydra in Grand Finals?
Yeah, I think the obvious, like, positive note here for 69 Bandits is they competed throughout every single one of these games. There was never a point where you saw them kind of give up or give in. They kept fighting, and that level of, like, just hunger and tenacity could drive this lineup forward. Being such a brand new team, only forming days before the qualifier, it's really impressive that they're getting, you know, 32 kills in Slayer, 180 points in Strongholds, and 2 captures. They have the pieces, but they just need to tighten up across the line, and they can come back and be a real competitor to this Hydra gaming lineup.
You know, we're looking at the scoreboard, Jolly, and one thing that stands out to me is JENELE, right? 23 kills coming out to her, but most importantly, the reason why I point out JENELE is you got to take into account, we highlighted LeCar off the rip when we moved into Aquarius. She was the dominant Slayer, the one opening up the lanes and really controlling mid. We talked about krandberri during the Slayer itself on map number 2 when we were on Streets, but map number 3, JENELE takes the show, having 23 kills to herself. That's 3 individual players that had the highest kills across 3 different games.
That is always great to see, right? It just shows you how well-rounded the team is. Yeah, the expectation is that, sure, especially with super teams like this one, that there's going to be one standout player, but it's actually even better to see the kills, the assists, everything kind of distributed across the 3. Each player has their own kind of position to show off depending on like the map and also depending on that game mode. And I do think that that's something that all these players are aware of. They're like, let's cover all bases, right? Let's make sure that, hey, if we're kind of weak in Strongholds, at least one of us is going to be able to navigate through Strongholds and be kind of the primary shot caller. So I'm very curious as to how the comms end up working on Hydra's and if they constantly have a primary shot caller or if that actually rotates throughout the games.
Yeah, it might be sharing it, right, Magic? Which honestly isn't a bad thing. You know, having, you know, a lot more voices than just one can sometimes muddy communication as opposed to just having that singular IGL who's saying this is exactly what we need to do. But if everybody on your roster is competent and can make those play calls, I don't see that as a downside.
No, it can definitely work. It's a tougher route, I think, but it really relies on experience because you have to be able to trust your teammate. If they're making the call, you have to be ready to get on board with that. You don't have time for debate in the middle of a match, and you don't see that happening with this team. Whoever is out there making those calls, they're making some good calls, and everybody seems to be on the same page, whichever way you come about it, you're looking for that team unity.
So I got to ask, Jolly, if you had to pick one lady who outshined everybody, you know, or at least performed the best in your eyes, who would that be? Who would that be in this series?
You know, okay. I mean, obviously, I'm thinking of the Hydra team, right? Because
obviously, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like 69 Bandits did very well. You know what? I gotta say, Miss LeCar probably was the one that, at least in the first 2 matches there, I mean, her ability to just zoom onto every single enemy that came into her scope was otherworldly.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. And Magic, I'll give you a chance for the floor before we go to break. Who do you think really stood out? Do you agree with Jolly about LeCar?
I do, but I think I have to give it to krandberri. You know, she was kind of consistent all throughout the games. We saw a lot of plays. I wanted to see more snipes in that last match, but even though it was off screen, she came up with a triple kill to defend Bravo. Really hard to do, and she just came out with huge play after huge play in some of those more critical moments.
Yeah, and even though she's not the kill leader per se across all 3 game modes, or at least 3 maps that we ended up seeing here, krandberri is making high impact plays. And I put more value into that, honestly, than even KDA. KDA is great, or even just simply KD. It's fantastic to look at stat-wise, but are you really making an impact with those kills? And I think krandberri truly is making an impact with those kills. So for winners finals, we got one team there. It's Hydra Gaming. We need to find out who's going to meet up against them. And of course, I'm talking about our next matchup, Need8sbad versus Mirage. It's going to be an incredible one, and you don't want to miss out. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, that great series will be underway.